Hey everyone. Sorry I've been gone for a minute. I was having some kind of weird issue with my computer audio, and honestly, it might pop back up because I think it's worn out components. I think my USB slot is kind of fried. I need to replace my USB jack in my computer. But it sounds okay today when I listen to my test audio, so recording the video. And yeah, just sorry I've been gone. So, greetings, friends, and mostly enemies. Today, I'm doing something kind of special for you guys. I recently had someone ask me if there was a place they could go to get a sample chapter of the Garden of Lies. And if I had a website, it would be up on it. And I think some retailers have sample chapters available. It depends on what retailer you're talking about. But there should be a place that I can just easily refer you where I know there's a sample chapter available, right? So, that's what we're doing today. I'm going to read you Chapter 1 of The Garden of Lies. I love this damn book. It might sound a little bit arrogant or like weird that an artist says they love their own work, but like if you don't love your own work, what's wrong with you? Why'd you create it? There's of course famous authors and artists who hate their own work. The guy who wrote Sherlock Holmes hated that he was famous for Sherlock Holmes because he wrote like historical fiction, and he wanted to be known for that because it was like he thought it was much more cerebral, and like he thought that was his good stuff, and he thought his Sherlock Holmes stuff was just like throwaway pulp fiction kind of stuff, but people loved it and he hated it. I can't imagine hating anything I created. The things I've created that I hated, I destroyed. I deleted them. So, we're going to read this. I trudged through the snow. The wind's chill bites at my skin. My short legs only barely keep my waist above the surface. Where did Mother and Father go? I just saw them come this way. I can't have lost them so quickly. The snow blows into my face, blinding me. Their scent is nowhere to be found. Their tracks have disappeared. Mom! Dad! Where are you? I shout into the wind. The shouting muffled by the snow hanging in the air. I press on. I won't let them leave me again. I'll find them this time. Their tracks have to be around here somewhere. I just have to find one, and I can pick up the trail. Dad leaves such heavy tracks. His should stick out like a sore thumb. So, where are they? This makes no damn sense. As I trudge forth, I begin hearing it. The singing. That sweet, gentle voice. I've heard it so many times before. But where is she? Who is she? I've never heard this song anywhere else. I try to place a face or a name to the sweet sound, but there is nothing but blackness in my memory. The wind picks up, and I shout for my parents again. Nothing except the sweet voice, singing the first of the two songs it always sings to me. Suddenly, a burst of wind knocks me onto my back, and my face gets covered in snow. I wipe it off with numb, clumsy fingers and sit up. As I rise, a figure enters my vision, approaching me straight on. The outline of a shifter, a wolf like me. But something is wrong. I feel a sense of menace from him. I feel a sense of dread looking upon him. I need to go. The singing has stopped, and only the wind howls in my ears. I scramble to my feet and turn to run. Waking up is strange. On the one hand, we do it every day of our lives until we die. On the other hand, it's never the same twice. I impatiently try to wipe the sleep from my eyes, but the world remains a haze until my dog Gray saunters on over and decides I need a bath. Calling Gray a dog is much like calling a tornado a strong wind. While technically true, it does not do the subject justice. Standing over 4 feet tall on all fours and weighing 200 pounds of solid muscle, he is more furry titan than dog. But don't try to tell him that. I just lay there and accept my fate of smelling like dog breath today. Fighting him off is not worth the effort. After my face has received a satisfactory amount of drool, he backs up and lets me get dressed. My leather breeches and shirt are all I need. Spring is in full bloom, and my humble town of Three Fang, while north as Canid territory goes, is shedding winter's chill readily. My boots come on, and no sooner am I done lacing up than my oldest friend and housemate, Pogs, knocks on my door. "Breakfast," he says and waits. My room is pretty big, biggest in my house at about 12 by 20, and my bed is on the far wall from the door, an easy 17 feet. That door is open in 2 seconds flat after my friend makes his announcement. Don't gotta tell me twice. We canine shifters aren't the fastest thing on garden, but where food is involved, not much can outrun us either. As I descend the stairs that lead to my room, I smell the food in the dining room. Bacon and sausage, dehydrated fruit, and the mountain berry mead that I and Pogs brew in the cellar. Mead for breakfast? What's the occasion? Festival of the Hunt starts today. Duh. Figured it was cause for some merriment. Pogs looks for any excuse to make good food and eat it, and same for good brew and drinking it. But on this one he isn't making a big leap. It's tradition to celebrate the festival in your own home, as well as the town square. So why not? We sit down and unceremoniously begin devouring food. At 17 years of age and 190 and 230 pounds respectively, we can both pack it away. But Pogs is in a league unto himself. His clan is known for its voracious appetite, and he puts most of them to shame still. Yet for all his bulk, he is still not what I would call fat. Strong, broad shoulders, with arms like logs attached. His clan, the Phage, are known for that too. So, Dolge Thorn, leader of the third pack of his year, what's your strategy for the hunt? Pogs asks me, in his best impersonation of the village elder. Stifling a chuckle, I contemplate that momentarily to order my thoughts. I think I should break our group into two. Claspin, Murday, and Steergild. Then you and me. Those three all have good synergy, but they don't have the grit to take down the Carapain. That's our game. We can leave the small point tally to them, while we go for the trump card. In the Festival of the Hunt, the major packs of training warriors compete by hunting down game and seeing who manages the biggest hall. First place comes with a few notable honors, chiefly a prize that changes year to year, and having our names forever recorded in a song of hunting. Old and new songs are sung every year at the festival. Saying they have good synergy is a bit of a stretch, Dolge. They've gotten better, and this won't be another truffle hunt. My friend eyes me skeptically. You're alpha. I defer to you. I scoff. Boggs always says that when he disagrees but doesn't feel like arguing. As food disappears and scraps somehow manage to end up in Gray's mouth, we briefly converse over the details of the festival and the finer points of our plan, and then we depart for the town's main square. My family forge is located about 5 miles outside town proper. I like it out here. It's serene. But it does mean any business at all takes a long walk. Three Fang is one of the bigger towns in Canine territory. Around 20,000 shifters call it home. Throw in a few humans and a shaman here and there, and it's also one of the more diverse towns. The majority of the human population is enslaved by right of the Canine Nation. They are our labor, our arrow fodder, and in times of famine, some shifters even consider them emergency rations. I look down on those shifters, and so does everyone I freely associate with. The way I see it, anything even remotely sapient is a sovereign entity. But that sentiment, while growing, is still sadly a minority. Shaman are the ruling class of the great shifter nations. While every shifter town or city council has shifters who run the day-to-day, the elder shaman assigned to that town has the executive say in everything. And no one remembers, and no histories ever mention anything else. Walking into town from the countryside, you expect to be barraged by the clamor of busy places and the smells of taverns and merchants peddling their wares. This time of year, it's a whole nother matter. You can feel the vibrations in the air from the music a mile out, and the smell of food and drink long before that. The road is packed with citizens heading into town for the festivities, and I find myself picking up my gait once the smell of the festival is strong in my nostrils. And at a mile jog, the whole trip takes us about 20 minutes. I turn my head to Pogs. Round up the boys and meet in the square? Sounds like a plan. I'll get Murday. And with our simple exchanges end, we part ways. Steer and Class's places are near the square, so it makes sense for one person to grab them, while Mur's place is out of the way. Between the longer trip for Pogs and the getting 2 people for me, the job averages out to a similar errand time. Good thing, too. Elder will be announcing the rules of this year's hunt soon. While the hunt has some universal rules year to year, you know the basics, no killing the competition, only game killed that day counts, etc., etc. Sometimes special rules are used to liven things up, and more importantly, test the warriors participating. Performance in the festival is one of the major metrics by which the elder judges who is fit to go to the trial of war, a large tournament held in the shaman capital among shifters from all of the nations, for the honor of joining the most elite force on Garden, the Shaman Guard. Winding through crowds has always been something I had a knack for. I guess it developed from getting chased out of town a lot as a kid. I was not popular. Getting to Stirring Class's places does not take me any longer than if the square was only half full instead of packed. Not to brag, but seriously, I am good at weaving through crowds. Knocking on Steer's door tends to always be an anxious gamble. If he answers, it's all dandy and we are on our way. If his mom answers, it's 20 questions and 20 more offers to come in for tea or some other treat. Now don't get me wrong, I love free food like I love breathing, but his mom is just a lot to handle. So full of life and energy. And some days, you just do not have the time to politely deflect all of it. Lady Luck is on my side. Steergild answers the door and rushes out quickly, repeating, "Go, go! She's baking!" He slams the door behind him, and we rush into the crowd to disappear. Moments later, we hear his mom calling out to us. Then shortly after, a resigned sigh, and she goes back inside to her project. Me and Stir share a laugh and embrace as friends and packmates do. I make a show of inhaling through my nostrils. They shrink as they're pulled by my breath. It may have been worth it to stay. Your mom's chocolate mousse is legendary. He shrugs. Not the same if you get it all the time, boss. Now to get Cowardly Claspin'. An unfortunate moniker. One that has stuck with him from the early days of training, back when he still was. As part of early training, the kids of selection age fight to knock out for the purpose of establishing pack hierarchy. The top 3 are then given selection of the remaining kids. Given selection rights according to how you placed. I was 3rd, meaning only 2 people beat me. Amnis Lupine, a beauty with red hair, a left eye of deep emerald green, and a right of dark sapphire blue. And Aryan Anathema, a painfully arrogant boy, of dark hair and eyes with a pale complexion, and attractive features that hide the disgusting soul he owns. Can you tell I don't like him much? Both of them are of Canid nobility. So as kids, Amnis thought that meant that they were going to be friends. She learned differently the hard way. Story for another time, that one. Anyways, to get back to Claspin's nickname, he surrendered his fight without even trying. Elder Engiel assigned him to my group. Apparently, I was best suited to helping him grow a spine in Elder's eyes. Guess he was right, because Claspin, or Class as his friends call him, is no longer the coward I was given charge of. Still too timid and cautious for my taste, though. Class lives a few streets down. Three Fang is built around the central square, a large circular bazaar where you can find anything. Even illegal goods if you know what stalls to go to and what to say. And being built around a circle means the entire town is, well, circular, for the most part. At bird's eye, it's a giant dot to hear the avians tell it. So as you move away from the square, the streets have a bigger circumference. The biggest street on the outskirts of town has a 12-mile radius. Of course, living here, I know all the back alleys and utility roads that cut through the lines of homes and buildings. Me and Stir are at Class's house in 5 minutes. I shout for Class as I bang on his door. He's taking his sweet time, likely hoping I would just give up and let him skip the hunt. Fat chance. He might be a scary cat, but he is part of the pack, damn it. I need him. And he's a friend. Can't leave him behind. I bang again. On the 3rd repetition, the door creaks inward as my fist strikes. And Class is visible in the crack. I was hoping you would give up on me. don't suppose you're here to say I'm not needed? The hope in his voice at the end of the sentence pisses me off. My hand shoots up to his ear and grabs on like a vice, and I begin dragging him out of the door. Ow! Ow! Okay! I get it! Jeez! But I don't let go till he is through the door, and it is shut after him. Pog should have Myrrh by now. We start to walk back to the square, when an old, unpleasant scent hits my nose. I increase the speed of my gait almost to a jog, and I hope it lets me and my pack pass the alley before he emerges. We don't quite make it. Arian and his pack, 3 nobles, and a commoner kid who was so impressive in selection, 4th place, that even Arian couldn't ignore his abilities, and hence selected him in spite of his bias. Afternoon, fellas. Nice day for a walk, am I right? Certainly would be, if there wasn't so much trash in the street, Arian retorts. His pack chuckles on cue, like good little drones. Pathetic. Okay, look, AA. He shoots daggers at me. He hates it when I call him that. Me and my pack have a hunt to get to. So while I would just so adore to hang out and catch up on the last 15 hours since you last acted like a jackass in front of me, we will be going now. I turn away from him as nonchalantly as I can before I am finished saying now, and start walking down the alley again. He and his pack move with a single mind, moving a hair faster than I, in a diagonal path that would put them in front of mine. I stop. Pressing forward would bring us closer and make a fight even more likely. Distance is an ally in this situation. Stand fast, mutt. I didn't say you could leave. Funny. I don't remember joining your pack. Oh, you would not be permitted to join if you begged. But you shall listen to me all the same. The look on his face is smug, sickly. He looks down his nose at me. Even though at 6'5", he only has 5 inches on me. It is the same face he's been making for the past 7 years of training. And every time I see it, I want to wipe it off his pale, angular, pretty boy face. Man, I hate this guy. You know, only the best will win the invitations to the trial. Limited invitations, mutt. And I say you're not going to make the cut. If only I gave half a shit. He glares at me again. All this time, he is still not used to a blacksmith's son, a commoner, talking back to him. Both of us being selected at age 10 for warrior training, and both of us ending up pack alphas, means we have pretty much equal standing by most standards that matter. Only highfalutin, prissy, fancy pants nobles think differently. But don't tell them that. Hearing the truth might give them a stroke. Mutt, I warn you here and now. Back down. Me and my entire pack will be going to the trial. Wow. That is so insanely arrogant of a goal. Even knowing him as well as I do, it surprises me. To get all 5 invites over me and Amnis's packs, this guy is delusional. Unless... What are you playing at, AA? Who's planning on helping you cheat your way to victory this time? Daddy Dearest? Brothers from down south in the capital? He sneers as he speaks, making the words drip with venom. You have been warned, Mutt. Don't call me that again. You won't live to hunt the carapain. That shuts him up. He still has the scar from when we were boys, when my teeth reminded him that, noble or commoner, we all bleed. He might have won that fight in selection, but it was not a flawless victory. Just for a second, just a speck of fear shows in his eyes. And then it's gone behind the smug facade. You have been warned, Dolge. He and his pack move in unison again, walking out of the alley towards the square. Pogs picks now to show up, making my pack whole again. Well, Dolge, you always did have a way with people, my friend says, chuckling as he approaches me and comes to stand at my side. Our shoulders even, we trade a glance and a smirk. My pack breathes out the tension of the encounter, and we proceed to the square. As I enter the big circular bazaar that our town calls the square, and before you ask, no, I don't know why, no longer on a mission to gather my compatriots, I notice just how vibrant and alive the square has become. Merchant stalls inundated with customers, the town guard is a little more numerous, and every family who has a son or daughter in the hunt is here. Even Stir's mom has wrapped up her baking and is now browsing stalls, doubtlessly seeking more ingredients. Does the woman do anything other than bake and cook? I check the position of the sun. Circle up, I call, and my friends huddle around me to hear their alpha speak. Elder Engio will be announcing rules and conducting the opening rites soon. We have about 20-30 minutes tops. Put something light in your bellies and drink plenty of water. Myrrh winks and does the air quote thing he so loves doing. I mean it. Water, Myrday. I swear on the Creator God, you get drunk, you sign yourself up to be carapain bait. Carapain is herbivorous, boss. Not all bait is meant to be eaten. He loses a shade of color or two. I go over the actual plan for the hunt. I make sure to inform them I suspect Arian of cheating, and they collectively nod or roll their eyes. What else is new, I'm sure they're thinking. Be at the central fountain in 20. Scatter. With that, Myrday, Steerguild, and Claspin disperse into the crowd to eat and get the last-minute supplies for the hunt. You wouldn't actually make him attack a calf, would you? Pogs refers to my bait threat. Only if I had to. I walk to the nearest stall and fish a few coins from my pocket. Enough for some skewers for me and Pogs. Nothing much to do besides wait. Pogs and I have no families to visit. No good friends outside the pack to greet. So I walk to the fountain and wait. Upon breaking through a wall of bodies, I am greeted with a pleasant and slightly intimidating sight. Amnes. Standing only a hair beneath my own tall frame, she is the second pack alpha. A vision with wine-red hair, a left eye of emerald green, and a right eye of sapphire blue. Her face was sculpted in a dream. Cheekbones at just the right height. Big, beautiful eyes smile along with her full pink lips. And a jawline somehow strong and feminine, simultaneously without detracting from either. And her body is much the same. Strong, shapely legs, supporting full hips, the chiseled core and upper body of a warrior, while keeping enough body fat to preserve her exquisite chest and bottom. In other words, she's a goddess amongst men. She is the only girl to have ever bested me in a fight. Her skills with a blade and flaming battle poi make her look like she's dancing instead of fighting. My style is more overwhelming power and ferocity. Dirty Dolge, what brings you to my fountain? Here to wash up? She smiles and makes a show of picking non-existent dirt from her teeth. Someday I will make you forget that nickname, Pointy Ears. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the pointy ears. Runs in her family, the lupines. She smiles brighter and extends her hand. I grasp her forearm and her mine. I place my left hand on her shoulder, and she places hers atop my right. It wasn't at first, but for a long time now we've had a friendly rivalry. Despite her noble birth, she's much like me. I wish I'd managed to beat her in selection. Having her in my pack would have been a riot and a half. Her face grows serious suddenly. You know Arian is up to something, yes? No, not Arian. Why, I never would have guessed. Imagine my shock! I mock in my most belligerently sarcastic voice. She laughs and rolls her eyes, her entrancing eyes. But it is a short-lived thing. She releases my hand. I'm serious, Dolge. It's subtle. But there's been something off about him the past few days in training. Hadn't you noticed? I had, actually. But be told, I kind of dismissed it. Chalked it up to pre-festival stress. More or less. What do you make of it? Not sure. Yet. Myrrh, Class, and Stir join us now. Myrrh's breath smells heavily of mint he's chewing. He's trying to cover up the mead he had with his meal, no doubt. But his eyes are alert and focused. I will wait till after the hunt to smack him upside the head. Right now I have to keep morale high. Discipline is vital. Time and place more so. In the main road at the northmost end of the square, a large stage that is put up every year for the festival begins to fill with the opening ceremony's dignitaries and necessary items. After a few minutes, the stage settles and Elder Engiel stands. Using a small portion of his power, he projects his voice across the entire mile of stalls, crowds, and the square grows silent. You could hear a pin drop. Not a sound is to be heard but for those made by the gentle breeze, an elder's booming voice. Welcome, shamans, shifters, and free humans. It is my pleasure to formally begin this year's Festival of the Hunt. The crowd cheers, clapping, shouting. It's so loud it could compete with Elder on volume. Because it's all around me, it begins to hurt my ears. Us canines have good ears. Good noses, too. I wound up with more of the former, less of the latter. I blame all the dirt and soot from the forge. Still, I can smell blood a mile off if the wind is right. We are honored today, as we are every day, to live in the glory given us by the Creator God. His power reaches you now through my voice. Can you feel it? In the boom! On his last words, his voice cracks like thunder. Vibrations rip the air asunder. Those closest to the stage cover their ears in pain. But those further off laugh in giddy joy and excitement. And cheering starts again. Elder laughs with the crowd. He's one of the good shaman, one of those that truly care for the citizens in their care. I've heard stories from villages that are not so lucky. He speaks again, quieting down to give the people's ears a break. My friends, citizens, and wards, the High Council has been analyzing the festival for many years now. They have come to a conclusion that a single day is insufficient to show a hunter's spirit. While the beasts our Creator mixed them with needed but one night, our human ancestors often took days, sometimes even weeks, to hunt prey, especially for great beasts like the mighty carapain. Thus, from this day forth, the festival of the hunt shall last 7 days. The crowd goes nuts. The festival of the hunt is the biggest celebration in canid territory. Feline territory too, if the gossip is good. This means a week of celebration every year. Needless to say, people like the sound of that. But for us warriors, it's another matter. I have a sinking feeling in my gut. If the council's goal was to make this harder, to truly test us so only the best of the best made it to the trial of war, then... Furthermore, following in the spirit of our ancestors, our warriors will take nothing with them on the hunt. They must make do with fang and claw and what they can make in the wilds. Oh, crap! We have survival training. We know our way around the wild. But doing it zero supplies is another matter. Pogs and I specifically will be fine most likely. But the others? None of them are exactly all-stars when it comes to, well, anything, if I'm being honest. Their strength is in their loyalty and willingness to follow orders first, ask questions later. Sure, each has a skill set, but they're the dregs, the bottom picks. We all know it. I value them anyways, and they know it. Okay, time to adjust on the fly. Plan, dispense orders, execute. I have at least an hour before the hunt actually starts. Opening rites take a while. Listen to all the rules. Make a plan. The other rules fit in thematically with the big change. No tools or food or even water can be brought. Kills must be brought back into town fresh to count for points. No cross-pack alliances. Finally, most important of the rules, because we are stripped of our weapons and tools, killing and managing to haul the massive adult carapain into town is an instant win for all who have a part in the task. So that's it. Arian knew this ahead of time. That's got to be how he's cheated. He's already had time to plan a method for dragging the massive carapain in for the instant win. When I say massive, I mean it. Adult males reach 10 feet high on all fours. They're about 10 feet long and have big, mean outcrops of bone on their shoulders that bloom out like thorns from a bush. They ram their shoulders into trees to knock them over to get to the leaves at the top. Not to mention massive curving tusks. Their mouths are actually on the bottom of their feet. That's why they knock over a lot of trees and bushes once the grass is all eaten. In short, they are big, strong, and hard to kill. I know that in 7 days my 3 gammas can haul a lot of game into town. Stir is especially good at running down game. Class is a decent angler. And Murr can set traps with nothing but a bootlace, a stick, and 20 minutes of time. I mull it over. Strategy is not only my job, but thankfully I have some natural talent to a certain extent. I know my pack's strengths. And more importantly, I know my enemy's weakness. Aryan will not delegate. He won't send out members to hunt solo. He plans on leading his pack on the one mission, the Carapain. Nearly opposite, AAANNNND places immense trust in the skills of her pack. I think it likely she would send them out solo or in groups of 2 and 3 like I am. Which means if I prevent Aryan from snagging the prize, and my pack keeps pace with AAANNND's, my pack has a fighting chance. But I want better than a fighting chance. I want the big win myself. The fact that Aryan is shooting for it makes me want it even more. I need an edge. I need to think outside the box. And I think I have an idea. Circle up! So, I hope you all enjoyed my reading. I didn't read it perfectly, faithfully, as it exists in this copy, because as I've announced in a previous video, this is not the final edit. There's quite a few tense errors in this issue. Issue as in that issuance of the book. But they are sorted out in the final edit. I hope you liked my dramatics. I hope you liked the first chapter. The book is The Garden of Lies by Zach Pieper. Available for pre-order now from Barnes & Nobles, Apple Books, Amazon as an ebook. 149,000 words of epic fantasy. Love, magic, romance, and conspiracy. There's something in here for everyone. I hope you come with me on this journey. Get yourself a pre-order, sign up for the pre-order giveaway, get yourself some merch, and I'll see you all in the garden. Be well, my friends.